Listen, let's not kid ourselves. We've always wondered how, when, how things like this happen. Well, when it does happen and you catch it on video, it makes it all that much more interesting. All right. Well, there you have it. You thought about it, I brought it to you. My goodness, my content is just ridiculous. Okay, you gotta admit, that's hilarious. I mean, have you ever seen that? I never saw it. So as soon as I did, obviously I knew it was time to pull out the camera. But that's neither here nor there. That was kind of funny. We actually picked up and moved today. We took a 2-hour drive. Was it 2 hours? Yeah, about 2-hour drive. We headed straight up I-95 and we headed across into Massachusetts, which is where we're at right now. We are at a campground called Sweetwater Forest. More on the campground a little later. But we got there, we hooked up, and we headed out here. We're in a town called Brewster, Massachusetts. Brewster, Massachusetts, in Cape Cod. We drove about 3 miles away from the campground. Myrna and Kaylee stayed back at the camper working on some stuff for school, for post-grad school. And we came out here to a place called Crosby Landing, Crosby Beach, which is kind of cool. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. What makes this beach or this area kind of famous is, look behind me. Yeah, I got my sandals in my hand, but you see out there, that's all sandbars. And it's because of the tide. The tide. That's the word I was thinking about. Sorry. Had a little brain fart going. But what makes this place interesting is the tide goes out. You could walk, legend has it, or people here say, you could walk almost a mile off the shore, which is right behind me here. You can walk almost a mile out and you're in sand. You're basically in sand. I mean, Myrna's way off there walking in the white shirt you see here. There's 2 boats. There's 2 boats just sitting there in the sand. I guess tomorrow they'll be able to float away when the tide comes in, or later on tonight. But that's it. We're in Brewster, Massachusetts, Cape Cod. We're gonna do a little exploring up here in the Cape. Myrna has a whole laundry list of things to do. We're here 4 days, and I'm really looking forward to it. Good morning. So we woke up today, a new day, a new adventure, a new journey. We woke up today to a pretty crappy day. It's raining out here in Cape Cod. Last night when we got home from Crosby's Landing, we did our first fire of the season. It was conducive. Okay, up until now we had a little bit warmer weather. Last night it was a little cooler, so it was a great night to have a little fire, a few adult beverages, and we enjoyed the rest of the night. But today is a new day. We woke up, like I said, a little miserable, a little rainy. So we're going to do some stuff that requires basically driving around and maybe sightseeing. We're going to head down to Provincetown, or I'm sorry, head up to Provincetown, which is only like 30 miles away or 28 miles away, but it's an hour drive because the speed limits. The speed limits impact the distance. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to bring to you guys everything that we do, whatever we see, we'll share it. All right, so we made it out to Provincetown, Massachusetts, which is basically at the very, very tip of Cape Cod. Now, Cape Cod, the entire Cape is basically a designated national seashore. Cape Cod National Seashore. It goes from the very, very tip on the north all the way down to Nassau Beach. It's a very, very long delineated seashore. It's a little different than other seashores that we've done. This one doesn't have like a main road that traverses the entire seashore, but nonetheless, it's very pretty. This area that we're looking at right now. We stopped while here in Provincetown at Province Land Visitor Center to gather a little bit of information, and from here we're going to go out and do a little bit of exploring. All right, so as I mentioned real quick, the actual Cape Cod seashore doesn't have like a designated drive. However, it is comprised of many beaches along the way, and each one of those beaches has a guard shack, which is manned by the National Park Services. And there you have to pay $25. That gives you a pass for one day, and then you can go to every beach. Or if you have the America the Beautiful Pass, the National Park Services Pass, you get in for free. Or not free, but you already paid for it, and you can go into all the beaches. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to visit a few of them. Right now we are at Race Point Beach, which is the very, very northern tip up by Provincetown, Massachusetts. All right, so I don't have all the information. You guys will have to do a little bit of research, but I will tell you this. Obviously, from seeing it, you see right here over my left shoulder, there are people boondocking on the beach, which is kind of cool. So we left Race Point Beach, drove maybe 5 minutes to the other side of Provincetown, and came to another beach, which is also a national or a forestry maintained beach called Herring Cove. Actually, this looks like a much more quiet beach. All right, so we finished at the last beach that we did. That's within the seashore, the Cape Cod National Seashore. We decided to take a drive into Provincetown, the actual historic district, the actual downtown. If you've ever been to Florida and you've been to Key West, it's a little bit like that. It's a little bit like Key West, although much, much tighter. Okay, I'll give you a little disclaimer here. We did not take any video, any picture, because driving through Provincetown itself, the small roads, I mean, if you stay on 6, which is the main highway, you're okay. But once you make a first right or left, my truck, very, very, very tight. It's not a very doable area, although I will tell you this, if you get an opportunity to get down there and visit Provincetown and do a little walking around, quaint little town, we didn't fit. And it's about $30 parking if you can find parking for a truck. my size. So we left there, and now we came out to a place called Highland Lighthouse. It's in the town of Truro, Truro. And you know, we love our lighthouses. Let's go check it out. All right, so we're done with that lighthouse. Drove a little, like 11 miles further inland from the Cape, and we stopped at another lighthouse, which we're gonna go check out right now. It's called Nassau. We're at Nassau Beach, Nauset, Nassau Beach, and this is called Nassau Lighthouse. Now, the interesting point about this lighthouse is it's the lighthouse that used on the Cape Cod potato chip bag. And I'm gonna go show you guys what it looks like. All right, so obviously when the picture was taken, that's on the bag of chips, all these bushes here were probably not here. The parking lot's right over there, and all these bushes were probably not here, and I'll tell you why, because you can't get far enough into the bushes to get the actual, here it is right here. I'll put the picture here of the chips. So, pretty interesting, just, you know, stupid stuff Manny does. Good afternoon, guys. Another day, another opportunity for a little bit more excursion and to add to our journey. So we headed out this morning, Myrna and I. Kaylee stayed back at the campground. We headed out to a place called either Chatham or Chatham. I don't know the pronunciation, but it's a nice little quaint town. They also have a lighthouse. You know, we never pass up an opportunity for a lighthouse, so we're gonna go out here and do a little excursion and bring you guys some footage. So there you go. You have Chatham Lighthouse, which is obviously, you can tell by the light up at the lighthouse, it is a functioning lighthouse, not open to the public, but it's right here on the road, so we can take as many pictures and videos as we want. All right, so we're done at the lighthouse. We're over here at the actual town, Chatham town, and if their availability for parking is an indication of the type of town this is, thumbs up already. Free downtown parking. Not only is it free, look at the size of that parking spot. So Chatham, town of Chatham, you guys are doing it right. It's a good morning, guys. It is obviously another day here. Yesterday, we went out. We did the town of Chatham, and then after that, we hit a couple stores. Myrna did some shopping. I spared you guys. I saved you from all that goofy shopping stuff. But today is another day, and just to add to our adventure and our journey, we came out here to Martha's Vineyard, and we're going to do a little exploring. And obviously, whatever we do, we're going to share with you guys. Let's go. Let's hit it. Good morning, guys. So it is our last day here in Cape Cod. Woke up this morning. It was a little nippy for Florida boy standards. Why you see me wearing a flannel shirt. But it is our last day here. We are picking up this morning. It's early. We're picking up this morning, and we're moving, staying in Massachusetts, which is why we're not even going to bother with the sticker just yet. We're staying in Massachusetts. We're going to move over. I don't know, drive I believe like an hour, and close to Boston. We're staying at a place called Middleborough, but a little bit more on that. But I'd like to close out this video with giving you guys a little bit of a review on this campground, like I often do. I mentioned it. We are staying in a place called Sweetwater Forest Campground. It's not a bad place. It's not a bad place. There's a couple of things that I didn't like about it. It's it's close to Crosby's Landing, which is a nearby beach. It's nice. It's got a lot of campsites. But I will tell you this, for the first time ever in my life, I drove around the campground with Myrna, and I actually got lost. I got lost in the campground. It's very, very, the campground is very, very confusing. It's got like 4 or 5 different sections, A, B, C, then it jumps to T. I personally saw a woman with a big Class A destroy one of her awnings. It's really hard to drive around in this campground. It does have a store, a general store. It has a couple of playgrounds for the kids with cornhole and swing sets and mini golf. It also has an arcade with a pool table. None of it is complimentary. You got to pay for everything. It's not a bad campground. Luckily, in the Cape Cod area, there's plenty to choose from. There are plenty of campgrounds around here. You just have to do your homework. But this one, it's not bad, but I will make a recommendation. If you're coming out this way and you want to stay at this campground and you're in a big rig, ask for sites T3, 4, or 5. T3, 4, or 5. If you can't get one of those campgrounds, please do not drive in the back of this campground. It is way too tight. Trees hang over too close to your rig on the road. Don't do it. But it's not I'm not saying anything bad about the campground, other than the 2 little things, which one of them is the tightness and the confusion, and the other one is, and the last one, and I'll end this. They charge you $2 a day per dog. I'm sure they have their reasons. I just don't know what they are. But it was kind of unusual for us. That's the first time that had ever happened. And I don't know why they charge it. $2 a day per dog. And I don't know. I just thought it was another way of squeezing a little bit more money out of you. But that's it. That's it. Cape Cod, though, is a wrap. We had a good time here. And we're heading out. We're heading out to Boston, and that video is next. And anything we do in Boston, we'll share with you. But thanks for joining us here at Cape Cod, and I hope you guys enjoyed what little footage I provided.